Right, we're here with Matt Hooper of id Software. We're here to talk Rage. So, last week there was a report going about saying the game was about 15 hours. So, is that the case? How long would you say is the game?
You know, that's a tough question. It seems odd for me to say this, but we really don't know. There's two things that affect that, right? We're still looking for opportunities, so we're exploring things. We can play through the games the way we play through, but there's so many, there are extra missions you can do. There's repeatable missions. There's races and new circuits that you can take part in or not. You can definitely set your own pacing. When you go to town, if you choose to play a few of the mini games and talk to different people, it takes a little longer. That adds a little bit. So really, it's going to depend on your play style. But there's a significant, main storyline that you have to take part in.
Yeah.
And it's probably a little longer than most. But if anything, we're just worried about making sure each part of the main game is unique and fresh and interesting. I'd rather pull an hour out that wasn't very interesting or kind of redundant than stick one in just to say we have a longer campaign. So really, we're just trying to make sure everything we have in the game is top notch.
Fair enough. That's cool. So this is id's first new IP in 15 years since Quake. How much pressure are you guys feeling considering it is a new IP?
There's a little bit of pressure, but for us as developers, it's really about us trying to make a game that we want to make. You know, it is a new IP, so we have an excuse to do all sorts of new things. There's new story, there's new technology. We've added a lot of different elements like vehicles and offhand, things like wing sticks and engineering items. There's a lot there, but really, that's the exciting part, right? And we're always trying to please ourselves first, and we know if we do that, we have a lot of talented people. We have, John Carmack making the technology. If we get that right, we think there'll be an audience for it. So the pressure is more always on as a developer. We're always trying to kind of outdo ourselves, but it's less of an external pressure and more pressure we put on ourselves just to deliver.
Okay. You guys finally announced here the multiplayer. It's been talked about since, the reveal back in 2007, but it's never been shown until now. What can we expect from, what sets it apart from the rest of, any other multiplayer you see in game today, like Call of Duty, even though that's probably an unfair comparison?
Right. Well, that's a good question, because you said what separates it from any other. The any other is the thing we didn't want to be. We didn't want to just go down the laundry list. Okay, we need on-foot. We need on-foot team. We need to do this. We need to do that. Our main goal was to make the most rich and deep single-player experience possible. And, we that's what we set out to do. And really, the online component we really looked at as an opportunity. We know people will listen. It's like, what? You don't have on-foot combat. But once you sit down and think about it, trust me, there's plenty of entertainment for the dollar that we have in the single player. And these two opportunities we took just made sense. You playing with a buddy, doing the same cool things you do in single player, that made sense. I want to sit on a couch and play with my buddy, and so we have split screen co-op. I want to play with somebody, down the street, so we have that online component where you're battling it out. We wanted to keep the fiction in there. We wanted to be able to use the tools. So we worked hard on that, and we felt really good. We tried the co-op. We liked it. We want to offer it. That's a plus. The vehicle thing, there's no real parallels, so that automatically sets it apart.
Yeah.
There's some older games, and I think maybe some new that are going to try something, but ours is really uniquely Rage. We looked at it as, wouldn't it be cool if I could jump in the vehicle and battle it out against 5 other guys, or battle it out against some number of other guys? So we got that working technically. We jumped in. We kind of liked it. We iterated on the goals. We made it a little more forward-focusing with the rally points. We tried it, we liked it, we tried 12 cars, we tried 4 cars, we settled on 6, we made these cool environments. There's a lot of depth there, there's progressive unlocks. Since we like it, we think there'll be an audience for it. And again, because it's so fresh and new, it's not just, the laundry checklist.
Yeah.
We tried it, we liked it, we're going to put it in the game. So we think those two things really add something to the whole Rage experience.
Okay. What kind of variations can we expect from Rage Combat Rally?
Well, that's one of the things you would think at this point in the project, we'd have everything nailed down, but we're still exploring different things. And again, we tried. If it doesn't work for us, we're not going to put it in. We're not just going to put it in to have another feature or another, bullet point. We want to make sure it's right. And with vehicles, that's particularly difficult because, again, there are no parallels. Nobody else does this. This is different. So we have to kind of try a lot of different things. So we have, the rally mode that we demoed. Then we also have team-based rally mode. So it's, 3 on one team, 3 on the other, and we'll try different things there. That's kind of worked out nicely. Then we have some takes that we're not going to announce it just yet, but we're probably trying between 6 and 10 other different modes, and we'll end up with a few. There'll be a few compelling modes that we think work best.
Okay. So you've mentioned that 6 is the target you're looking for in terms of combat rally, players. Is that something you're sticking with for now, or you're looking to increase before September?
Well, again, we tried. I think technically we could accommodate a few more vehicles, but with the type of real estate we're trying to cover and the type of game modes, 6 feels about right. I think we'd be able to. We want players to jump in, get online, get in a 6-player match, have fun. The maps are kind of tailored for that. I think we're pretty well settled at 6. I think that works well.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he did. I know as John said at QuakeCon, they expect another iOS spin-off in the game before it launches. Can you tell us anything about that at all before?
Well, we do have a team that their whole focus is working on that. John is really proud of that, and he likes doing that.
Yeah.
It does make sense. We haven't made any firm commitment on when a release, but there will be another Rage title on the iOS.
Okay. Awesome. For the record, I liked Mutant Bash TV. I loved playing it on the iPad. It was amazing. Speaking of Mutant Bash TV, I thought the co-op level we played yesterday was pretty amazing. Could we see new Mutant Bash themed challenges as DLC?
Yeah, definitely. One of the things, my whole goal with DLC and us as a team, we've kind of adopted this, is we're getting close to the end of the game. People are getting their hands on it. What they want, that's what we want to give them more of. So we want to make sure we deliver on our entire campaign, not pull anything back and put it in as DLC. So we're getting close to having that done. Now that people are exposed to it, we're starting to look for, hey, people like this, let's give them more of it. So Bash would be a logical way to go. It's kind of uniquely Rage, and people seem to like it. So that could be something that we push in DLC.
What about other variants of DLC, like story or weapons?
Yeah, we have a bunch of different ideas, but again, we want to make sure it's what people want. If people really gravitate toward the engineering items or the ammo types, or they want more of one thing, or they love Bash TV, or they like the racing circuits, then we want to deliver on that. Instead of giving people what we think they want, we want to give them what they actually want.
Yeah, fair enough. Pete told me, phone interview back in January, that a demo was very unlikely, yet Todd Hollinshead said back at QuakeCon about 2 years ago that it could be a PC Mac demo. Is that something you're still looking at, or?
No, for us, our focus as a studio and the development team for sure is about finishing the game and make sure it's all it can be. The demo something afterwards could be a possibility. But in this day and age, I think what's right for us is just to make sure we deliver on what we're promising for the game. Hopefully people will play it. They'll tell their friends if they like it. It'll be reviewed well. We think there's enough avenues for people to be able to understand the game. I don't see us releasing a demo, especially pre-release.
Okay. So what have you guys done with id Tech 5 with Rage that just wasn't possible with Tech 4?
Well, the biggest thing is being able to run. There's 2 things. Everybody asks me about tech, and I always break it down into 2 things as a designer or as a gamer. How good does it look and how fast does it run? Because really that's all that matters. All the numbers and things, it doesn't make any sense to me. But we think we reached a pretty high visual fidelity, and we can run at 60 frames a second on all the platforms. Mm-hmm. That kind of responsiveness, that's what we wanted with Rage. There's give and takes on that. You sacrifice a little to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. But that's something we couldn't do with the previous technology. It would have to be modified a lot to be able to run at 60 hertz. So that's the biggest thing, is that fundamental control and feedback of a shooter. We wanted the 60 hertz shooter.
Okay. So finally, what are your thoughts on 3D? Is it something you'd like to work with Rage or Doom 4 maybe even?
What's the question?
What are your thoughts on 3D? Is it just something you'd like to work with on Rage or maybe even Doom 4?
I've kind of grown up with anything Doom or Quake. I'd love to be a part of because that's just my whole background is around those games. That's how I got my start in the industry. And obviously, it's going to be the whole. So you specifically want to know about the 3D, right?
Yeah.
That's more of a John question. I mean, he's the leader of the technology. He pushes that.
Excuse me. This one, come on.
What's that?
Come on.
I'm not sure who that's for. The guy down there would know. But so John's always interested in any new thing, whether it be control peripherals or exploring 3D opportunities. And if he doesn't buy into it, he won't go down that road. But he's always looking into it. And because we're a 60 hertz game, it's pretty easy for us to support 3D. Right now, we don't have any definite plans. But if that's something, those decisions will be made, and we're definitely exploring those opportunities.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.